Hi, I'm Ebon.
And I'm William.
And welcome to another episode of the Thick and Thin Podcast. We're addicted to that noise now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was so funny. What were we doing? We were making breakfast.
Yeah.
I was making pancakes, and I don't know how that came up. That song came up.
I think
from your brain. I'm sure.
I forgot how the question about the chicka chicka came up, but I was like, where did that come from? And I said, I think I equated the timelines.
Oh yeah.
With that Oh Yeah song. And then through some creative Googling, we figured out the Oh Yeah song, only to find out that it had chicka chicka in the song.
First of all, you didn't want to trust my Google instinct.
What do you mean?
Because I said, to find that song, all you have to do is go to Google and type in, "Oh yeah, sexy song," and you'll find it. And you're like, "No, I don't know. I don't think that'll..."
Well, my thought was that
and I was
how
like,
often does the phrase "Oh yeah" appear in any sexy song?
But it's not the phrase in every song. That
True.
is the phrase in that song.
I just didn't think it was narrow enough to get what we wanted.
You gotta trust Google. You have to trust our AI overlords to know exactly what we need at any point in time, because they know. And this is proof of it. So you went on Apple Music, and I think you typed in "Oh yeah," and of course
because it searches lyrics too,
right?
Yeah.
And just like song titles, and of course there's going to be a million of those. But that doesn't take into account the sexy part. So so I was just like, go to Google, and you did verbatim. Oh yeah, sexy song, and it was popped up. Here's the Vivo YouTube, and it wasn't even like it wasn't like you might mean this. It was like, this is it,
right?
For sure, this is what you're talking
also,
about. It was very confident.
I thought about this later. The fact that you thought to put "sexy song" in the search. Who listens to that and thinks it's sexy though?
That is what that song is, though. Oh, that's like a stripper song for sure. That's quintessential stripping song.
Just like the beat of it and the way the "Oh yeah" sounds, it's not exactly. Oh yeah. It's not exactly making me think sexy.
Not nowadays, but
even back then.
Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, I was a child then, but
exactly, like you weren't going to strip clubs, so.
I'm just saying, hearing that song, didn't think like, ooh, bounce chicka wow wow.
Like if I was making a movie and there was a scene where like we were going to a club or a strip club or like a underground like thing, like that would be on my list of songs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bum, ba, bum.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. That just doesn't do it for me like that.
So regardless, I was right. That's the bottom line.
I mean, yeah, no denying that. That's just weird how algorithms work, I guess. So you started, and then I don't know why you started playing that. Yeah. Because that's what the thing was, and you were wondering where the chicka chicka comes from, and as we were listening to it, the song itself goes chicka chicka, and we turned to each other and went, "Oh my god!" Yep. Literally, "Oh yeah," and the chicka chicka noise is the whole song. There are no other lyrics. There's like a breakdown, like just a beat. A dance break, but it's just, oh yeah, chicka chicka.
It's a jam, too.
It really is. It reminds me of the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. So we were sick last week. Well, yeah. I was sick last week. You took care of me.
I tried.
Despite my not wanting to answer any questions or just talk. Like, do you want to eat? Yes, but I don't want to get up and I don't want to make anything. And like, well, I'll make you something. Like, well, I don't want to make you make me something. And I just, I hate feeling sick because I feel helpless.
Yeah.
And just
I think most people do. Yeah. No one likes. And I feel bad making you do stuff. Even though when you're sick, I'm like, this is what I do. This is what we do. Exactly. I help you. And then there are going to be times when I'm sick and you'll have to take care of me. And then I get sick and I'm like, fuck off. I don't know. It's just something we all go through.
Yeah, it sucks. But thank you.
You're welcome.
For taking care of me. Through thick and thin.
Wah,
All right. Okay, so something happened as I was setting up for a podcast.
Oh, God.
That freaked me the fuck out.
What?
Okay.
I'm scared.
So I have a recording that we will watch.
Oh, and boy. With my missing self from it, apparently.
Yeah. So this was me alone in the in the studio, as it were. And I'm gonna mute us on our mixer, so you know this sound is coming from
the video.
The video.
Okay. I'm scared.
You're telling me.
Oh God, what happened?
Okay, I'm gonna make sure it's loud enough. All right, I'm gonna mute us, but they can still see us, so they can see your face.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I just want to say this is me holding my breath.
Okay.
To make sure you know that this is not me making this noise.
Okay.
Why does that sound like someone breathing? Okay, so right here I mute my mic.
Okay. Is it whiskey or one of the dogs? That's creepy.
So I genuinely was freaked out.
I don't blame you. Please tell me it was one of the dogs.
So I finished record. I stopped the recording, and I genuinely got the creeps. I was like, "What the fuck?" Like that was weird.
Yeah.
I took my headphones off and I was like listening, and you nailed it. It was Bo over here, and fucking, so we were just. And it's so loud that the microphone over here could pick it up.
Oh my God.
Dude, it freaked me out so bad.
Dang. I would have guessed whiskey because he's been Snores McGee lately, but wow, Bo, really?
When I had convinced myself. I mean, you can see it in the video. Yeah. I convinced myself that this place is haunted.
If I'd have heard that, I'd been like, so we're going to have to find a new place to record because this room is out now.
No, I'm telling you, I was like, ooh, do I tell her?
No.
Just keep that to myself.
Look, black people don't fuck with no haunted shit. Nope, I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see on my face, I was freaked out. I was genuinely like, what the hell? Well, I was like, I'm going to send this to ghost hunters.
Oh, God. It took me a while to hear it. And then...
Well, see, that was the thing. Like, I don't know, whatever computers do to change sound after it gets recorded, like, when what we hear through this is much, like, stronger than what gets put out.
Right.
And so, like, it was, like, picking up, like, the sound of my computer, which is, and, like, I adjusted levels, but at that time, it was, like, picking up everything. And so I could hear, like, the breathing was way louder. And so, like, it sounded like it was, like, on my neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it freaked me out. It was scary. Sorry. I had to. That was fun. All right. Where should we go from here?
I don't know. I feel like we've been accumulating a lot of stuff since we didn't record last week. So, I mean, we got a plethora of choices.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Ew.
If you tuned into our last episode, you would have experienced the gentleman having a breakdown after being told that he wasn't going to get a second date with apparently the hottest girl ever. And we just want to remind you that we are unbiased and we are an equal opportunity hater podcast here. We're here to let you know that this crazy goes both ways. Okay. So this, well, even though this video comes from an account called Fuckboy Problems.
I mean,
the thing says, next time you think your girl is clingy, remember this video, and boy. Now, keep in mind, this is from, there's some context. This is from TLC's 90 Day Fiancé, so they're on television and they know it.
Okay.
But let's just watch.
She's at the dentist's office right now. I'm getting my teeth cleaned. Mary wants to know what I'm doing. She's very clingy, so being on the phone 24/7 helps give that reassurance.
Who's gonna clean your teeth?
Hey, what are you doing, girl? Why don't you have something to do?
Right? And why is she concerned about who is going to clean somebody's teeth? Don't people clean their own teeth?
Well, I think, I mean, as far as like a dental hygienist, though.
Okay.
That's what they're. So he said he's going to the dentist.
Oh, okay. I missed that part. Sorry.
I don't know their name.
Brandon,
Hey,
you ready to come on back?
yes I am.
All right, follow me.
In Mary's dream world, me interacting with another woman would never happen. Is it okay if I put the phone up somewhere where my significant other can see me?
What?
Of course.
Did you hear that pause? She was like,
Because that lady wanted to say, "What the fuck?"
Also, if you're at a point where you're just calling them your significant other, they shouldn't be video calling during your dentist appointment.
Exactly.
If they're not like your wife or fiance, even still.
But they gotta be on video through that thing?
Crazy. Ugh. Also, I want to point out the way this guy's name is spelled drives me up the fucking wall.
Brandon.
Wait,
let me read this first. Brandon Denuccio.
Oh, dude, his dad is so upset with him.
And why?
Could you imagine being a Denuccio and getting told what to do by this Filipino broad? You know what I'm saying? Wait, son, how are you going to let those girls tell you what to do? That's crazy.
I mean, fair point. Okay, so Brand...
You're the nooch. Hey,
the nooch. That would be a good nickname to have.
Would.
Brandon Denuccio.
Better than DeGooch. That's what his haters called him for sure.
Probably. Well, after this video especially.
I mean, this guy definitely got called DeGooch, but his dad was Denooch. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And he tried to adapt that nickname, and people were like, no, you're DeGooch.
Sorry, Mary Demasue gained attention on TLC's 90 Day Fiancé the other way for their intense relationship dynamics. Brandon, I can't not say it now, from Oregon, and Mary from the Philippines maintained a long-distance relationship before Brandon relocated to the Philippines. Their journey was marked by constant communication and trust issues. Leading to concerns about the healthiness of their relationship. Despite these challenges, the couple, married in April 2023? They have since distanced themselves from reality TV and are focusing on their personal lives. Translation, she ain't letting him watch anything with a female on it.
That's crazy. Yeah, how do you watch television? You know what?
She's like, you can watch WWE.
I've had, even then, there are scantily clad women.
Oh, that's fair.
I've dated girls that, not this bad, but to the point where, like, if there was, like, a nude scene in a movie and I watched, they would be upset.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
What were they threatened by? It's on a TV.
Life. Just...
What?
I will say, though, typically, in my experience at least, if someone is this concerned about your fidelity, is that the right word?
Correct, yeah.
They're probably not being honest with you in some fashion.
I mean...
That's my personal experience.
Well, my mom has a saying that goes something like, "You don't go looking under the bed unless you done hid there." Mm-hmm. And it's like, well,
yep. that is real talk. That's like all the congressmen they're the religious people that are like, we need to get rid of the gays or whatever, and then they're just in bathrooms like blowing trans hookers and whatever. It's like, okay. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This guy has probably never been in a relationship. He's probably been like told what to do his whole life by his parents, and especially his mom would be my guess. And so he just needs this. He doesn't know any other way.
He has 0 people in his life that would tell him, yo, this is not healthy.
Probably not. That's that's why he's on 90 Day Fiance. Like, let's be honest. Like, it's not. These aren't like primetime bachelors that are.
I mean, true. I think I just underestimate that people have some concept of normal in interpersonal relationships.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's not normal just from his name. I mean, he's got
he can't help his name.
He's got the half. He's half the king of Westeros, and then half is the dude that fixes your car, Brian and Dan.
But it's like your dad, a brother, a friend. Nobody was like, that's kind of a red flag, guy. I mean, what's worse than a red flag?
I don't think
that's a black flag.
I don't think he has a strong role model. It is definitely a black flag. I don't think it's a strong role. It's a brown flag. I don't think he's got a strong role model, a male role model to say that. And even if they did, he probably is in a position where he doesn't want to take other people's advice.
Ooh, that's disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, if he would just watch like Friends, like some rando sitcom, couldn't he determine that this isn't normal? Like, I don't know.
It's dated. It's the 90s. Nobody dates like that.
Whatever the equivalent today is. But I don't know.
Yeah.
That's blowing my mind. I'm scared to see what the rest of this is.
Pen 15 on Netflix. There's your show.
What is it?
Pen 15.
Oh, the one that spells penis. Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I just assume that that's what the kids are watching.
It's fair.
Anyway, let's keep watching this.
How long have you guys been dating?
Over 2 years now.
Is this your first love?
Ooh, the way she leaned in.
First of all, that was definitely edited like that, but kudos to the editor.
No, it's not.
Okay, pause. That's reminiscent of Dude that we watched the last episode.
Yep.
She went from angry to heartbroken in 3.5 nanoseconds. Does she think he was born the day he met her?
And you know what this is at the end of the day? It's just manipulation.
I mean, yeah.
That's all it is. Like, these aren't valid, reasonable feelings.
No.
And it's just so that she can control them.
Well,
You want to know how I know that? Because that's what I went through.
I'm gonna go show Doc Tammy your film.
Yikes.
And we'll be right back in, okay?
Okay.
I've been to parties, like when I was in high school, where I was like with her. And you know, like high school, like Halloween parties, like there's going to be girls that are dressed like certain ways.
Yeah.
I would literally, like, we'd be sitting together and I would be like looking at her or looking at the ground. And I'm not joking.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, now you know why I text you every time I'm going somewhere. Because I'm traumatized.
And I'm just like, all right, cool. Like,
you're like, I don't fucking care.
Like, if I
don't care.
If I legitimately was concerned with where you are, we have each other and find my friends. Like, it's okay. Like,
I know. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Are you crying?
You lied to me. You said I'm your first love, but now you said I'm not.
What she means by that is like first girlfriend.
I have an ex too, but he's not my first love.
Oh, when you put it like that, yes, of course you were my first love.
You just said no.
Abby, I'm sorry. It's not what I meant.
Did you hear the script that he was reading? Like how many times they've been through this? like they've gone through this so many times that like he's like, all I have to say is this, and then she'll get upset and eventually she'll get over it, because that's how these chicks are. She's hardcore though. She's got tattoos.
You could tell he's uncomfortable. So like, why is he not like? I don't want to be here. Wait, can you turn the sound back on? Sorry.
Where my significant other can see
I
me.
need to see this whole thing.
Of course. How long have you guys been dating?
For over 2 years now.
Do you think production told her to ask them questions about? They're like, hey, just try to trigger her. Like, there's no way they go in and they're like, hey, don't pay attention to her. They're like, see if you can stir some shit up. I mean, I don't know. I'm not even convinced this is a real nurse. This is honestly, probably an actress.
Under normal circumstances, maybe, but I think the nurse chick is like, her mind is exploding of the fact that it has to be a video. So she's just like, what's up with y'all? Like, I think that's a normal reaction under the circumstances. Some bringing, can my girlfriend sit in on a video call?
Yeah, I also think that she thinks that she's being polite and like asking about them and their relationship and stuff like that, because that is like what a normal person would do.
Yeah.
But
these people ain't normal, lady.
This is not normal.
Is this your first love?
No, it's not.
He's so uncomfortable.
What? Why would he say that though? Like, there's also a part of me that's like, these people probably get off on like bickering and fighting, and then like making up. I mean, they're not having sex yet.
I was gonna say they're thousands of miles apart. How good can the makeup be?
This is like what's it called? This is foreplay for like their marriage. You know, it's like they're like, this is how it's gonna be, but when it gets real, we're gonna be able to like bang after this.
This is trauma, I think.
For sure. That makes good sex though, right? That's what I hear.
Does it?
I don't know.
Well, I'm just gonna go show Dr. Tammy your films, and we'll be right back in, okay?
Okay.
Pause. That's translation for, I'm gonna go tell these other nurses about y'all crazy asses.
For sure. Without a doubt. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to tell my girlfriends about this.
As soon as she got out of the frame, it was, girl!
She's a little snickering to herself.
Let me tell you about this nutty couple in there.
Oh my God.
Okay, go on.
Are you crying?
You lied to me. You said I'm your first love, but now you said I'm not.
What she means by that is like first girlfriend.
I have an ex too, but he's not my first love.
Oh, when you put it like that, yes, of course you were my first love.
See, that sounds so uncomfortable to me.
You just said no.
Babby, I'm sorry. It's not what I meant.
Do you hear it though? Where it's just like, this is what I say in this situation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly he's been there before, but yeah. Okay, what's the rest of it? Is this the end of it? Video?
Yeah, that was the end of it.
Bruh. There's some nerdy, awkward girl that's more normal than this out there for you.
Yeah, for sure. There's a better option. Like when people are like, "What's the red flag?" I'm like, "Well, that."
Yeah.
Just that is it.
Also, that girl's cute, and she ain't got nobody locally, or I don't know. To me, that speaks volumes too. Like.
Yeah, I think the general population is in a tiff right now when it comes to dating.
Yeah, because people don't know how to be social anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't know how to just like act and stuff.
You mean act?
They just don't know how to act.
Oh, you mean like, okay, that's just like conduct themselves.
Yeah, they don't know how to 100%. They don't just know how to like. You ever like? I know you haven't, but as a guy, sometimes like you see a girl and you're like I'm attracted to them, but like I'm not gonna just go talk to them. Like I'm just gonna play mysterious, you know. There's none of that. There's no like nuance of like, oh, I'm just gonna like play like on the 10-yard line and like just like try to be noticeable. I guess it's like maybe if I like ignore her, she'll think I'm not. I don't know. It is kind of fucked up and maybe a little bit manipulative. By the way,
sure.
It's never worked for me. It never worked. But that was my game plan. But I don't think they think like that anymore. Of like there's no like, okay, when I was in college and my friends were like, we're all going to the bar, like we're all going here, like you want to go? It was never like, oh yeah, I'm going to go have a good time with my friend. It was, yeah, I'm going to go, maybe I can meet a girl. Mm-hmm. It was always that.
Right.
But I can count on one hand the amount of times that I met a girl in college at a party.
Really?
That, like, it led to something, like, once or twice, maybe. So it's like, I just don't know if they don't have that drive anymore of, like, that, like, even, like, the possibility that they could meet someone. I don't think that they, like, even think like that, which is weird and sad.
Well, I think it's kind of a chicken and egg situation at this point. I don't think guys know how to approach a woman without being inappropriate, but with like being like that threading that line. I think is probably the concept of it is probably more difficult for guys.
Dude, just be normal, man.
Exactly. Well, and I think that guys and girls, or men and women, whatever, I think they have vastly different perceptions of what the other side wants. Like it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, it seems like guys when considering the concept of approaching a girl, they're like, oh, I gotta come off smooth and whereas like I feel like most women are just like, just come say hi, like be normal. Like you don't gotta come with the cool one liner, you know, how you doing, girl? Like don't do that. Like
I can't wait to clip that.
Just say hi, how you doing?
Yeah.
Like it's really as simple as that. Like, and I don't know how the disconnect happened between the two, but it blows my mind.
I think dudes got worried about being toxic,
right,
masculine,
right,
whatever, however you want to put it, and I think it's easy for girls to be put off by guys.
Yeah, because when they try the shtick of a come on, we can smell that a mile away.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
when a guy has approached me and was like, "Hey, girl, you got a man?" No, I'm out. I already checked out.
I've never
like that's your best way to approach.
Yeah, I've never actively approached a girl. It was always like happened to be like in proximity of me at a party, and like maybe I crack a joke about something that happens, and then like they say so, and then like it's just a natural like conversation. So like that's why I say like anytime you like go to a party, like that's the thought, like I can meet someone, because like you don't know how it's gonna happen,
right?
And like, but if you're not putting yourself in a situation to meet people, you can't meet people.
Exactly.
And like apps aren't gonna like create that spark. Like when you're intentionally going somewhere to meet someone, to like meet up or hook up with it's like that's probably not gonna.
It siphons out the spontaneity of it, in the moment of it. Right. And I don't know, even with the dating app, it's like, oh, what do I? How do I? I don't know. It's weird. There's some. I know it's an overused trope in rom-coms, the whole meet cute, but there's something to be said for that organic, in the moment meeting. I don't know.
Yep. Get in a car accident.
I mean, don't do that. But
like, I mean, like a fender bender, like a small one.
Or
like
just
where you have to exchange information, and then like, hey, you got a good lawyer. Like, I don't know, like just maintain.
Just, you guys are both waiting in line. You see somebody doing something crazy, like, ooh, they're having a. I don't know, just I don't know. It's just.
Yeah, and it's like every situation is, and I guess like there is a situation of like, what if you like go to the same coffee shop every day and you notice someone that's like in line with your whatever, and it's like. Maybe you don't interact, or maybe you have like one little interaction with them, and it's like they're a little like just offer to buy them a coffee.
Yeah.
Where are you headed? Can I walk with you? Or like something like, I don't know. You can not be weird.
Exactly.
But you can't teach not being weird.
True, especially not now.
And like, especially with like the content that's out there. Like I feel like people see like comedy sketches and like these weird animation stuff and it's wow. Oh, that was me.
I was gonna say that my phone's on the charger.
What was I saying?
seeing weird animations and things online.
So people's like view of reality is skewed right now of what people think. Is that my dog? Oh, it's yours.
No, that's Tango. Tango! Hush.
So I think people are like skewed of what other people think is funny. And like how to like connect with people. Like they want to do like skibbity toilet, and it's like, dude, like that's on, like they want to do online humor.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not how real people interact.
No, not at all.
So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know the answer. Don't need to come up with an answer because it's not my freaking problem. Apparently I swear too much according to my dad. Sorry,
Meanwhile, I've
Dad.
dropped like 2 F-bombs in the first 5 minutes. Sorry.
It's okay. We're already behind. Speaking of red flags, I guess this was a study. Apparently, not a study.
That's the guy that played Jeffrey Dahmer in that miniseries.
Yeah, a psychologist, Dr. Thema Bryant, has cautioned against using true crime shows as a means of relaxation, suggesting that it could be a red flag for unresolved emotional issues. I mean, I would have admitted to that. She explained that finding comfort in depictions of trauma might indicate familiarity with such experiences, potentially signaling a need for counseling. Dr. Bryant urged viewers to reflect on their habits, stating, "If your idea of relaxing before bed is to watch these episodes of true crime, then I would encourage you to ask yourself, why is trauma relaxing to me? This perspective emphasizes the importance of examining emotional triggers and their impact on mental health."
Okay, Petty Ebon is about to get on her soapbox for a little bit. I feel like 90% of my close associates have been chastising me for not liking true crime podcasts and shows for years. Like, girl, you want to get on this? And I'm like, that shit gives me nightmares. And I hope all y'all are watching. Red flag. You hear me? Red flag. I'm the normal one.
Maybe, but this is just one psychologist.
I mean, without having read this before, every time someone's like, oh, I just love it, I just eat it up, I just watch it all the time, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you? I think that in my head. So this vindicates me to know that I'm not alone in thinking that, because those things, even my mom, I'm sorry that I'm calling out my mom, she watched this Jeffrey Dahmer miniseries that this is an image from, and she was like, girl, you need to watch it. And I was like, I was disturbed by the news stuff when it was going on in real time. I don't want to see a reenactment. She's like, girl, but it's so good. No, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I do enjoy a true crime series as like the psychology part of me.
Okay.
I've always said, like, I wished I would have gone more into, like, what they call abnormal psychology, which is, like, this stuff. Like, why does this stuff happen? Is it, like, a development thing? You know, can it be found out before it happens? Like, blah, blah, blah. That kind of falls into that. I haven't watched one of these in a long time because all the good ones have been done. And so it's like you want, like, I've watched like the ones about like the famous killers, and so it's like I don't need to like rewatch them because it's like I've heard the story. So like when this came out, I was like, I don't need a reenactment. I didn't watch this because I know the story and like I get it.
Were you paying attention back then? I feel like you would have been a child when this was going on.
I watched a documentary.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like after the, like later on, and so it's like I don't need it regurgitated to me over and over again. So it's because I've heard it. So I think like if you're seeking these out and like re-listening to these things, that's a little weird. I haven't watched. I have like been like, man, I want to watch like a good like cold case documentary or some shit like that. Like those are always cool. Or like I used to watch Forensic Files a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it was like just like put it on like backgrounds because there's like 20 something seasons and it's like all like different, like 30-minute episodes of just different crimes and stuff. But that was also like how they solve it. You know, there's like a technical, like how again it's Forensic Files. So how did they use technology and forensics to solve the crime? So that's more what I was into.
Okay.
But it's just kind of like detailing how messed up it is. It's like, all right, I get it. Mm-hmm. And like, I do like hearing like the backstory of like, oh, like they were abused. And it's like, well, there you go. Like, boom, that's it. But again, this is just one psychologist.
I mean, I obviously because it co-signs my own feelings, I'm putting lots of weight on it, obviously, but I don't know. For me personally, I already have a very tentative at best faith in humanity. And I'm like, if I fall into this rabbit hole, that's going away completely, probably irrevocably. So yeah, it's like, I need to be able to sleep at night. And I don't think I could if all that is in my head. Yep.
It's pretty messed up. Mm-hmm. And I get it.
Why do you think I'm like, let's watch Bridgerton, let's watch Happy? I don't know. I just,
I mean, we just finished watching Paradise, which is not exactly that.
True. And are we going to go in depth and talk about it?
Sure.
Okay, well, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. This is where you stop if you haven't watched Paradise and you want to still. We should probably put like a time code or something when we stop talking about it.
Sure. Skip ahead to this time if you don't want to see the
spoilers. Paradise, I mean, and I think I told you, I almost didn't finish it after episode 7 because that put me in a funk. Yeah. Like, talk about losing faith in humanity and just smacked up a little bit too real and possible. And had my mom not watched the final episode and was like, it kind of redeems itself, ends on a more hopeful-ish note, I probably wouldn't have finished it.
I don't know what part it was, but it was there's a huge build up in the show.
I mean, we can talk freely about it if we're doing a spoiler alert.
Toward this extinction event. Mm-hmm. And they're like feeding you all this information and you're like trying to put it together, and there's like a bunch of like red herrings, I feel like, that they just put in to like just keep you confused.
Well, I mean, it's a murder mystery, so that has to ish.
Yeah, I don't know. But by the end of it, I was like,
I don't even think it's necessarily red herring, though. I mean, they let...
they withdraw. They kept information away.
Yeah, and they let you kind of assume, like that Signature was the bad person, or whatever. But
you also didn't have all the information, and so like there's a part of me that's like, I feel like betrayed, where it's like, well, if you would have like shown me that earlier in the show, I could have like pieced together more of this, and I don't know if I would have enjoyed it more. But I don't think they want you to piece it together. That's the thing. I don't know, the last episode was kind of like, okay.
Yeah?
It was like, all right. Like, my favorite part about the show, besides like the overall high production quality, is that it progresses. There's a progression.
Okay.
A clear, like, progression of things that are happening, and like it is moving forward, and assuming there's going to be a season 2, it's not going to be anything like the first season.
Yeah, which makes me a little bit tentative. But
well, I mean, the latter half of the first season isn't like the first half of the season.
True.
Which I very much like the like analyze everything part of the first half. And then it kind of just became like a Mission Impossible movie almost.
Kind of. Well, and it started like really small because like within the first 5 minutes.
Mission very possible. It was super easy for them to just take over that fucking dome.
Well, like, I mean, they got 25,000 people max to deal with. So yeah, I mean, but it started off as in the first 5 minutes is the president is dead, and then it's like, okay, this is a whodunit, and then it just keeps like expanding. You're like, oh wait, it's not just about that. Like all this other stuff was going on, and then you find out like how miserable he was and his family. And it just keeps growing bigger until it's like this big old thing, and you're like, well, I don't know anything anymore.
And the big event that like caused them to be in this bunker. Mm-hmm. They avoid talking about it for so long. That again, it's like such a big build-up, and then it gets to it, and you're like, okay. It just wasn't as like as satisfying as like I wanted it to be. For whatever reason, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm probably gonna force my friend Aaron, to watch it so that he can put it into words for me. Okay. Because he's way better at that. But there was an aspect of it where I was like, I wanted a little more than just like a volcano exploded and like now other countries are bombing each other because resource. Like, fucking what?
For me,
it's like, yes, realistic, maybe, okay, but it's like, fucking, that's not fun.
I actually like that as an explanation because, you know, that one flashback with the General Whosoever, whatever, and they're like, we're preparing for an extinction level event and blah blah blah, and I was like, at first when I heard that, I was like, here we fucking go, it's Deep Impact or Armageddon again. Like that was my first thought. I was like, another asteroid, so like that's been done. And then it was like, I thought about Fallout, which I've only watched the first episode, and I was like, well, what if it's just some like nuclear bomb dropping? And I'm just like, oh, well, that's unoriginal.
You didn't finish Fallout.
No, I didn't.
But also spoilers for that if you haven't seen that. Again, time code. The end like plot point of that is that like the people that were in charge caused the war that ended the world so that they could repopulate it and rule it as they wanted after the surface was livable again. Like they froze themselves so that they could come back.
Okay. So I first thought I was like, oh, another asteroid story, and then I was like, this better not be some, you know, because they've built such a believable world. I was like, this can't be like some alien shit. Like, it was just like,
I don't think an end of the world bunker would be like that. I think it would be closer to like how Fallout did.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah.
But it was like in my, you know, after that scene, I was like, well, what could it be? Like, and so my expectations kept like chipping away in the sense like they're gonna do something hokey, like what else is possible? And so by the time they do reveal what it is, and I was like, oh, some environmental shit, now that feels believable, because I mean,
I get, yeah, it's just I mean, I guess you can say it's environmental, but like volcanoes are volcano, like it's gonna.
Well, that's the thing. Like when we think of volcano eruptions, we think of like, you know, Hawaii or, you know, whatever's in Washington. It messes up the air for a little while, but I didn't know that there was such thing as underground volcanoes. I mean, I was actually scared to Google the Antarctica one because I was like, if this shit really exists, I don't know if I could sleep at night, but. Whoa. I was like, oh, there can be underground? Like, that could be a game changer.
For sure. I mean, not to give him more publicity, but Joe Rogan has talked about it on his podcast for years.
Underground volcanoes?
There's one, like, under Yellowstone that they know about.
Like, is that the geyser thing? Or is that something different?
No, it's like a part of that.
Oh, okay.
It's like there's a reason that there are geysers there.
Okay,
like,
okay.
There's activity there. And so, like, it's one of those things where, like, if it goes, it'd be like that. Like, it'd be a huge catastrophic event. But, like, we don't know when it's going to happen. Yeah. And, like, I don't think that they would have a prediction. Like, the show was like, they kind of know that it's coming, and it's like, well, I don't know.
I think they kind of couched it as like, well, it's been having some seismic activity, so we know we assume something in the future. They didn't know when, obviously, because they were unprepared or sort of unprepared. But I don't know. That just felt extremely believable to me. Like, we already have some climate change issues affecting our weather systems, and I'm like, oh my god, could this really happen?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There was just some things in it that like. They say this thing, and so they make it seem like they know more than they did, and so it was like they kind of send you on this wild goose chase of like whether or not the powers that be were the cause of the event. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like before you see it, and you're like, okay, like this makes more sense.
Also, what shocked me, and I don't think I paid as much attention the first time I watched it versus watching it with you, initially I just thought it was the volcano thing, but then like the added countries are now starting to bomb each other because the scarcity of or presumption of the scarcity of resources, and this I was like, oh, like that could. like that people would react that way to this. That kind of threw me actually.
I don't know that I understand that, nor do I agree with it.
It just feels like we're all gonna die. Let me just kill you first.
Yeah, it's mutually assured destruction. It's like, why at that point? Why would you want to do that?
Exactly.
Like, wouldn't you all become the same country, quote unquote?
You would think
at that point, like that. Yeah, but I don't know. Rich people, I don't think like that. So,
well, no.
The powerful people don't think like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I liked as far as like how it ended. Like I liked that it had progression. But it was like anticlimactic in a way, where it was like, I mean, I guess things did get solved. I did like the kind of narrative that they pushed with like the son of the president kind of becoming a politician in his own way. I really liked that. I didn't like that he just left his kids there. In the vault. He's like Xavier. Going out to find his wife. It's like, dog, take them with you. You trust these people?
Oh, well, I mean, Collins, what's her name? Robinson.
Okay.
I mean, after all they've been through, I would say she's clearly trustworthy at this point. But he obviously didn't want to go. Remember the conversation with his daughter? She was like, go bring back mom. Like, it didn't sound like he was going to go until that.
I don't know. It's just weird, like, knowing that the lady's not dead.
Oh, that's fair. Well,
and Jane, you can't trust that bitch.
Well, no, you shouldn't trust Jane.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, but he thinks he should.
Robinson could just pop her in the neck again.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was, I liked it from the onset, and then like the further it went on, I was just like, it should have been like 6 episodes. I think it went a little long.
I don't know. I thought, to me, the only thing that really concerns me, I liked it as is, but I'm less excited about the prospect of a second season because I don't think they can capture that lightning in the bottle intrigue, pacing, mystery, momentum that they did in the first season.
Well, and especially like flashbacks were such a thing that it's like, well, you kind of told the whole story.
Yeah.
In that first season.
And they can't use James Marsden anymore. I'm like, he's a great asset to this show, and virtually
can't use him because of his character's dead.
Well, I mean, what use is using flashbacks of him at this point? Like, I feel like all the flashbacks of him served the
narrative of
why he was the way he was and who killed him, and I just don't see what narrative device using him again for second season.
That's a great character, actually. His character is awesome.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking back on it, Cal Bradford is a fantastic, very well written character.
I liked in the beginning how it was like, do we like him?
Yeah,
or are we not supposed to like him?
You cannot tell if you're supposed to like him or not.
Yeah, and then they kept adding layers to his story, and then it was like
he would do something where you're like, that was nice, but like not in the traditional way. Where you're like, okay, like your heart's in the right place, but that wasn't like the way to pull it off, really.
What were your thoughts on his decision to be real with the country? Because he had that canned speech that he recorded that they weren't even going to air until he was all safe, and then he was with that interaction with the janitor, he changed his mind. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great for the TV show. I don't think there's any way in hell that happens in reality.
But I'm saying, like, do you think that was a noble thing to do or a dumb thing to do?
It's definitely noble.
But given what the fallout from that,
people are going to die anyway.
I don't know. I keep going back and forth because it's like, the other dude that was trying to dissuade him from doing it was like, you're going to cause a panic and but then it was like, that interaction he had with the janitor, and the janitor is like, I'll see them tomorrow. Been through 9 and this ain't nothing new, and that was, to me, that was heartbreaking. It's just the fact that he was like, no, bro, this is not like that. It's like, I don't know, being a person who would never be on that inside bubble, I feel like I would want to know, but then I also see the value in not causing a panic because we saw what happens when people panic.
Well, it's like, if you want to do, especially as a president, I mean, do that speech, but be in the air before it gets aired. You know what I mean? Have be out of don't, because now you're causing danger for your agents around you, and you're just causing more issues. Where you can record that same thing, hop on a plane, have it air, and let the riots take place below you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, regardless, it was going to be panic at some point anyway.
Yeah.
But on the one hand, it's like it's noble because you're less concerned about your own neck and want the people to do what they need to do. But then at the same time, it's like it would feel kind of smarmy and self-serving to be like, I'm gonna record this when I'm safe. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Would you want to know as a degular human in America?
Yeah. Because I'd want to call everybody and be where I want to be.
Yeah.
Not gonna be fucking working when the world ends. Like, I'm not gonna do like that's not happening. So like, yes, but at the same time, if you're anywhere like away from home when something like that happens, it's like, well, I can't get home.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm gonna be able to drive anywhere.
Yeah.
No way. So
for me, the janitor scene and the scene, I think they kind of intercut it where Cal is doing the blue pill thing to do a Matrix reference. The blue pill, and it's intercut with Xavier talking to his wife. Like, those are like gut punches for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things. It's like when you think of the end of the world, it's like, yeah, I mean, this is this is yep. Yeah. This is exactly what I envisioned. So it's not like anything like really like caught me off guard.
Well, I think it probably intentionally didn't want to have a different type of reaction, because we all have seen the Deep Impacts and the Armageddons and have had the thought, well, like, how would we feel? Like, they probably wanted to tap into that familiar fear.
Yeah. I just thought there was going to be more of a humanitarian issue behind it.
What do you mean?
Like, because like really early on, they were like talking about, or like the president is asking Xavier, like, oh, you're gonna have more kids? And he's like, no. He's like, oh, that's probably a good idea. And it's like, that's like, and like they're giving off this idea of like, oh, did you hear about the protests in Colorado? Like, and they're not really being forthcoming about what it's about. And it makes it seem like, and I guess at the end of the day, it kind of is a humanitarian thing. Like, who do you save? Who do you not save? But I don't know. It just seemed like there was more to it.
Yeah.
And like I expected there to be like this political thing is getting out of hand, and whereas like a civil war, and that's why like I don't know, that's kind of where my mind was at. So like when it's just like, oh, a tidal wave, I was like, all right, that's just
tsunami,
not
rather,
whatever. That's just not the it's not the picture they were building.
That's fair.
And it just didn't like hit in a way of like, oh, this is like falling into place. Like they made it fit, but it wasn't like falling into place.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's why he was saying like, no more kid. Like, what is that? Like, what does that have to do with who they? I don't. Yeah. That's the part I didn't get. Oh, it's a good time to not have kids. Like, why would they put that line in? It's like, what if you have more kids? There were going to be a cutoff. You're not going to be able to bring your baby into the fucking thing. Like, what are you talking about?
I think that was just a tip off.
It didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense to me. It's a red herring.
Don't have kid. You know, the world is about to end. Like, but the kid you already got. But who wants to try and figure out and navigate bringing a new human into? I mean, chances are, obviously, the fallout in theory is supposed to take for a long time, but I can't imagine trying to raise a kid with that trauma, having just dealt with that trauma. You know.
But again, it's like, what am I gonna? Getting aboard, like, what do you? I don't know. It's just like, it was just like a weird, like, again, it was just like one of those things that they said to like just throw you off. I just think
it would just serve the purpose of he knew something bad was coming.
Plenty of ways to do that.
True,
I don't know. Like, why bring up kids? That was the thing. They brought up kids a number of times.
Because kids represent the future, and the future is uncertain.
Okay. But I don't know. That makes it seem like there's something else going on. Like. Fair. Like, what was have you ever seen Children of Men, where the infertility rate is like basically 100%?
Oh wow! Also like Handmaid's Tale, technically.
Okay, so yeah, like that's kind of more along the lines of, like, there's something weird going on that they're having to figure out, and there's some unrest because of it, and maybe it's worldwide, and I don't know. Like I was just expecting, I don't know.
Okay.
So like they just built it up to be something that it completely was not.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, like I don't know.
Also, side note on the scientific note,
great acting. Top to bottom production,
for sure.
Performances are phenomenal,
top notch. I definitely predict this will be up on the Golden Globes and the Emmy nods and all that when its turn comes around.
Maybe, I don't know. It just took a turn for me it just kind of like didn't fully come back from.
Okay. I wanted to note on the scientific thing. When we think about like the asteroid narrative, at least I can't speak for you. I imagine it hits and, dust and nuclear fallout. Like to me, I imagined it as a big thing impacts, then consequences, and then however long it takes to settle down. When that one long-haired, bushy scientist guy was like, it's coming from Antarctica and a tidal wave moving at 600 miles
an hour.
He was like, and then the other news anchor was like, well, what happens?
Does it stop?
Yeah, and he's like, it'll go to the Arctic and just keep cycling back at least like 12 times. I was like, oh, it's not just one and done. Like it's just gonna keep sweeping everybody's asses. That blew my mind too.
I guess, yeah. And then it begs the question, like, I hope obviously they did build that bunker like high enough to where it would be above like quote unquote new sea level.
Above new sea level.
Because if you build the bunker and it's like the exit is below where the new water line is, like how the hell do you figure that out?
That's
but obviously
a good point.
at the end of the season we see like the doors open to sunlight.
Yeah.
So which didn't they say it was like a never-ending winter? I didn't like that end scene personally. It should have been like winter,
dreary, because it was like sunlight. Yeah.
I was like,
true.
Okay, like.
But then it looked like that.
Are you flying to the beach? X the fuck.
It looked like it was wintry when they showed how Billy was killing the lady.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So it should be like this should be like an endeavor, not like a vacation.
That's fair. Okay, so I guess is this the end point of our spoiler talk for Paradise?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Last topic before we get out of here. Back to our enjoyable relationship speak, which I'm sure is what everybody tunes in for. This one, this actually wasn't what I thought it was. I thought this was the everybody likes to sleep cold thing. This is going to be a picture for that too.
True. Or thick ass sweater on.
But this is from World Star, and
is this a video? Or
no,
slides?
This is it alone.
Okay.
It says, this is a tweet from someone. How do females ask for sex? I know this gonna be funny. This is definitely a black girl. So, how do girls ask for sex?
I mean, I guess that depends on the situation, but I mean, I'd say a common one is if in bed sleeping, like, the spooning, the booty tooch, arch your booty thing. That's
booty tooch.
That's probably a common one.
Don't y'all just like to get warm though sometimes? Because that's how we sleep.
Yeah,
start sleeping.
There's snuggling, spooning, sleeping, and then there's the arching your back.
Arching your back.
Arching your back into what I'm talking about. What's another common way that females ask for sex? I mean, I know these modern chicks. No,
real talk. Hey, you trying to smash?
It could be just as overt as that, or chicks like to send nudes and.
Whoa!
I've never been that person, but
I've never been on the receiving end of that. It's pathetic.
I mean, I've talked to people that do that.
Really?
I'm just like, ooh, you just out here sending things. Real talk. I'm still traumatized by this. Years ago, a coworker, she and I had the same model phone, and she was not as tech savvy, and she was like, hey, I can't figure out whatever. And I don't know if it had to do with camera settings or photo album settings or whatever. And so I'm walking through or, going through the motions to check her settings, and I stumbled upon more of her than I wanted to see, and I was like, whoa. And she's like, she was like, oh, my bad, I'm talking about it. I was like, I don't want to see your body parts like that. But, so yeah, people do be doing that.
Dang. Still. There's like a hidden photos
This
album.
is before that. That was a feature, yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say that I'm an expert on how, on the process, but... Yeah, and your experience on the receiving end, how women ask you for sex?
I find it amazing that you think that I've been in enough situations with women asking me for sex.
Or hinting that they want sex.
I guess I don't know. I guess I never really know that they do until it's about to happen. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that this was getting here.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be the guy that's like, I'm bang this slut out. She's definitely going to put out. You don't want to be that guy. True. So, like, I never assume that anything's going to happen. And then if, like, one thing leads to another, it's like, cool.
Well, how do guys ask for sex?
I don't, like, in what situation? Like, someone you're in a relationship with?
Okay, give me an early dating, relationship. Yeah, give me different scenarios.
Early dating, I don't think you ask. You just kind of, like, feel it out.
Okay,
like, you
that's fair.
Try to, like, initiate and, like, hope that they're receptive to it.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to, like, feel out their body language. I think if it's like early, like first date, like if you meet on like Tinder or whatever, if you're a girl and you want to hook up, you have to make the first move
for sure. Especially on a Tinder, I would think. Yeah,
a guy should not have to make, in my opinion.
But also, I feel like I've never used Tinder, but from what I hear of Tinder and the type of app that it is, I would assume if you're on Tinder, the assumption is that you already want to smash.
Probably.
It doesn't exactly seem like a relationship facilitator. It seems like a smash facilitator.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I guess like if you're like genuinely just looking to hook up, you can just like ask like, "Hey, you want to hook up?"
True.
I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. With like saying like, "I'm just trying to hook up."
I mean,
and if
honest.
they want to do it too, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
I mean, with you,
oh gosh,
I just kind of make a pose like in the bathroom door, and toss my hip to the side, and then go.
I wish I could say he was lying, but he's not.
Trying to fuck?
I mean, is that normal for guys, though?
I don't know.
Or is that just you?
I couldn't tell you. I'm trying to make it like a movie. I'm trying to be irresistible.
That's fair. All right.
Wearing my little short booty underwears. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My Swiss cheese lingerie.
Oh, my gosh. I can't.
I know. So how do you ask for sex, folks?
Yeah.
What do you do to initiate? Just rub your booty up against his genitals?
Just do the booty tooch.
Yeah. How do if you're in a non-traditional relationship, how do you initiate? How do lesbians initiate? How do gays initiate?
Oh, good question.
We're curious. What's your game?
So yeah. Email us that. We'll keep your name anonymous, but this ought to make for interesting discussion.
I think married people are probably like,
I got 5 minutes before the laundry's done drying.
You want to do it tonight? Yeah.
Aw.
I hope we're never there.
I'm
still having fun.
Yep.
Haven't had to bring in anything extra yet, so think that's the first sign is like, do you want to like try like an extra piece of equipment? You know? I feel like that's
some heavy artillery.
Yeah, that's the first sign of getting bored, you know?
Aww.
But we're far from that.
Yep.
All right. We're done?
I think so.
Perfect. All right. Thanks for listening. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share.
I'm such a bad influencer. Like, subscribe, share. Smash that like button, as they say. And follow me on Instagram at Willie_D20.
And follow me at Eb_Nick.
Yeah. And come see my comedy shows and all that stuff. We're going one tonight. Sort of. Well, it's a private event. Whatever, dude. Am I forgetting anything? Probably. It doesn't matter.
We'll remember next time.
Thanks, guys. Brr.
Bye.